Hi, and welcome to today's talk, Love Unveiled and Unpacking the Secrets to Loving Again. I'm really looking forward to this talk today because if you have experienced failed relationships, relationship trauma, or breach of trust, then you're not alone. Because sometimes we invest our whole hearts into love only to find out that it's not reciprocated. Because maybe whether you are with someone emotionally unavailable, or maybe you felt that you gave more than what you probably should have, or maybe what you received. The list of these potential outcomes, it's endless, but the pain is universal. Now, regardless of whether the relationship was contentious or maybe amicable, the absence of someone, what was once close to you, can be very, very challenging. And the fear then of falling in love again or reopening our heart, this is something that many can relate to, including me. It's something that has impacted my ability to find love later in life. However, I did find love again, and it's been quite a journey. Now, if you're in this place in your life right now, know that it's okay. And you are exactly where you need to be. And that's perfect. Now, let's talk about the secrets to finding love again. Because you might recognize that feeling of wanting love, wanting the right partner and wanting to experience that beautiful feeling of being in love. And your intentions it's admirable. But there's often a disconnect between the excitement of the idea and the resistance that you might feel when you need to actually take action. Now, this is where the subconscious mind plays a very big role. And it might actually cheer you on for having a great idea, but then also remind you of the past hurtful experiences that you had. So your past can actually now cast a shadow onto your future without you even realizing it. Imagine like carrying around a bag full of old clothing, like you're dragging it with you everywhere you go. You become exhausted. It feels burdensome and it hinders your ability to actually enjoy the present moment. Now, dragging the past of your love life into the future, it can be just as draining. Now, the past can also become like a gremlin that surfaces at the most inconvenient times as well, impacting your judgment without you even realizing it. Now, this baggage can really start to wear you down mentally and affect your ability to perceive relationships objectively. So when you want to fall in love, these past experiences, they resurface and then a negative bias kicks in. Now, you tend to focus more on the negative aspects rather than the positive ones. Now, this negative bias often leads to a cascade of reoccurring thoughts. Now, most of which are negative. Now, this negative frame of mind is locked into your subconscious mind, and it can lead to feelings of anxiety and also depression, perpetuating a very low vibrational state. So, your conscious efforts to make changes can be stifled when your subconscious is now keeping you stuck in negativity. So here, the reticular activating system, also known as the RAS in your subconscious mind, it filters in what you focus on, both consciously and subconsciously. So if you are constantly focused on negative thoughts and emotions, the RAS will filter people in circumstances that now aligns with those negative thoughts. And this can now create a cycle of negativity that feels that you cannot escape. So one negative thought can set off like a chain of a reaction, basically, like a chain of negativity. And this can now actually lock you into a pattern that makes it seem almost like that you can't attain and get what you want. So breaking from this cycle is possible, but it requires recognizing and addressing these patterns in your subconscious mind as well. Now, it can be frustrating for those of you who have found yourself stuck in a place where it feels like you can't have what you want. And you might stay there for a long period of time. And it can also now lead to feelings of being unresourceful, feeling helplessness, or even powerlessness. So when you feel like you're sinking even deeper and deeper, how do you break free from this pattern? I once had a good friend who once asked me a very profound question during a moment of frustration and complaints, right? So many complaints about my life. And he asked me, how much pain do you need to be in before you make a change? My response was I needed to be pushed into a corner, brought to my knees, to feel utterly unresourceful and depressed before I would even consider making a change. Now, I kind of believed at that point that that was the only way that I know, change through a crisis, change through drama. I don't know if you could relate, but, and he laughed and he told me that, yeah, I mean, that's one way, but it's the hard way. The easy way, he said, was to just make a decision to change and then act on it. I laughed so hard when he said that. It brought tears to my eyes because the reason for my laughter was that he was right. Instead of indulging in all this drama and waiting for a crisis to drive change, I can simply just decide to change. How I wish that I had that insightful moment earlier in my life. Because, this dramatic pattern involved needing a crisis for me to really, kick me into action and then to instigate change for me. And if you can relate to this, you're not alone. So I decided to change and work towards loving again. And I realized that, despite all this heartbreak and all the failure, that I really needed to redefine my understanding of self-love. Because self-love is where it starts. It's with you. And if you can't believe in it or feel worthy of loving yourself, then our reference for what love is not going to be very healthy. Because allowing someone to love you before you can love yourself will actually leave you feeling disempowered. This is going to maybe cause you to fall in love without self-love. It means almost like giving your power away, right? Because you're not in love from a position of empowerment. Now, this leads to lack of boundaries, difficulty finding how you want to be respected, and also struggling to understand your own needs. Such type of disempowerment allows other people now to control you. And you might find yourself with someone that's maybe abusive, emotionally unavailable, or even manipulative. I mean, God, the list can go on. But when you're okay with this, it's a sign that you're not loving yourself enough to have boundaries and self-respect, to recognize how much that situation could be hurting you and how unhappy you might even be. God, some people are happy being unhappy. Some people don't know what it is to really, truly be happy. Now, these are some of the reasons why people don't find that deep, meaningful love that they need. Now, there's no shortage of superficial love out there. I mean, let me tell you that. And I'm sure you probably know that too. But who doesn't want the kind of love that makes them feel safe and supported and respected and also cherished? I certainly wanted that, and I found it. However, there were a few things that I actually had to work on first. And the first secret to falling in love again is to let go of your past relationships. You have to let go of the story. You can't keep dragging that baggage with you. And the second secret is to learn how to love yourself again. You must be able to redefine your understanding of self-love and realize that you are worthy of more. And to do this, befriend yourself, love yourself powerfully, and then decide to not tolerate disrespect, abuse, or being taken advantage of. Because when you really truly love yourself, you won't align with people who treat you poorly, and you will filter in higher vibrations that's in alignment with your newfound self-love. Now, another crucial aspect is communication. To find love again, you need to learn to communicate effectively. This involves expressing your love, setting boundaries, articulating also your needs, and to gracefully handling conflicts as well. Now, the way that you handle conflict, this greatly impacts the longevity of a relationship. Because aggressive arguments can leave emotional scars and cracks in a relationship, while respectful communication can lead to fewer cracks and less emotional trauma. So, learning how to communicate effectively, it was a challenge for me too, because I used to be an aggressive communicator, and my father's communication style deeply influenced me because he was also a very aggressive communicator. So while my mother was more the calm one, the peacekeeping one. Now, the duality here led me to actually be quite an aggressive communicator, but I've since learned the importance of maintaining respectful and effective communication in my relationships. Now, when it came to communicating with my dad, there were times when I felt exasperated, wondering if, how do I talk to him? How do I even normally talk to him when he's always so aggressive? So I matched him, and that's where a lot of my aggressive communication started, because everything he seemed carried such an emotional charge to it, making every interaction volatile, to say the least. Now, in hindsight, I understood that his behavior, of course, it stemmed from a deep sense of unworthiness, a fear of his opinions not being heard, and maybe a fear of not being seen. He felt so suppressed in his life in the past that he couldn't express himself in a more balanced way. So his struggles didn't justify the toll it took on my mom or myself and everyone else around him. It was a volatile situation, but this time I realized that I no longer had an authority figure or like a parent, like someone hanging over me, dictating to me how I should feel or what I could and or shouldn't say. I've discovered my power now, and I've come to understand and how I can really truly choose how to communicate. I can choose graceful and calm communication in my life. And yes, I admit that there were times, of course, where I slip up and my husband kindly points out and he's like, you could have said that a little bit more gently, which I respond to like, yes, you were right. I could have, I'm sorry. Right? So learn how to communicate gracefully and don't be afraid to apologize when it's necessary. I apologize immediately when I need to and when I know I should. Because when you don't, it kind of boosts your ego to stand between you and everlasting love. Because the ego is the most toxic enemy when it comes to real, true love. And I've learned to balance my ego in relationships. Now, a partner should also be someone that you can fall in love with, to have fun with, to work together with as a team. They are not a competitor. They're not someone to control or someone to dictate to. They are a person to communicate with and to share your goals with and your dreams with and to resolve conflicts with gracefully. Because effective communication, I can tell you, it's essential. Because aggressive arguments, it's going to leave emotional scars like that crack. Once you have a pot, you have that flower pot and you have an argument and it's aggressive and you drop it, it breaks. You can put it back together, but there's going to be a lot of cracks and you will always see the cracks. Now let's talk about the third secret, which is, I said, open communication. But the fourth secret here now that I want to share is focus. So when you're in a relationship and you're still in that honeymoon phase and that starts to wear off, where do you direct your focus? Because now challenges can start to pop up. Do you focus on the positive aspects of your partner? Especially during stressful times. Because when your partner's habits annoy you, do you concentrate solely on the negative? Because this negativity, this can lead to arguments, irritability, and also defensive reactions. Shifting your focus to recognize the positive aspects of your partner. And this can greatly transform your relationship. So ask yourself, can you identify a few things that your partner is doing right? So by doing that, you're shifting your focus away from the negativity. And this can and have strengthened and saved relationships and marriages. Now, these points can really truly change a relationship. So whether you're starting a new relationship or looking to enhance your current one, keeping these key points in mind can help you to create a powerful and fulfilling relationship. Now, I'd like to also invite you here to join me for a meditation to help you to rekindle the love in your life. But also, before we begin, keep in mind that if you are really truly serious about finding love again, I highly recommend my online self-paced course, How to Find Love Again. Because this comprehensive course includes, 5 hours of intensive content teaching you how to reconnect to yourself, establish boundaries, improve communication, identify the right partner, and also to redefine your understanding of what love is. And now, let's start the healing meditation. And when you are ready, I invite you now to take a nice, deep breath. And I invite you to focus on your breath as you inhale and also exhale. Think about that one obstacle that's preventing you from finding love. It could be a thought, a pattern, or a past trauma. Take note of that now. And now, where in your body do you feel that stress associated with this obstacle? For me, I always feel my stress in my heart. That's kind of like my place. You might also feel your awareness is just automatically drawn to a certain area in your body, or you might feel a heaviness, you might feel pain, you might feel tension. It can come forward in any way. When you feel that emotion, that stress, or the obstacle, where in your body do you feel it's connected to? And now, contemplate this obstacle and its effect on your ability to find love. So now you have awareness of that. My next question to you is, what do you feel you need to put your past trauma, stress, grief, or self-doubt to rest and heal? Whatever that obstacle is, what is that essential element for you? For me, normally in the past, it would be trust issues. And also learned how to feel safe again within myself. So again, I ask the question, what do you need to feel to put your old trauma from the past and past relationships to rest? And whatever your answer is, make sure that it's a positive one. And now, imagine that you have a beautiful beam of light flowing from your head down your body, down, 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 out your face. And imagine that this light is filled with these positive answers and needs that you have. Right? So for example, for me, I will imagine that safety and trusting with discernment is now flowing through this light through me. Allowing that light now to flow through you with all these positive answers and solutions. Flowing through every single cell in your body and feeling how your body is just absorbing it. Feel also how harmoniously your body is integrating it. Flowing through you and out of you. And now, I invite you to take a nice deep breath. And now, I invite you to redirect your complete attention and your focus to the bottom of your feet. Concentrate now fully on the bottom of your feet. Allowing that now to anchor you and to ground you. allowing your body to continue to heal and to integrate throughout your day and night. Allowing it to continue to unlock possibilities for you to find love once again or to strengthen existing love. And when you are ready, bring your full focus and awareness back to me in the here and now, and welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me here today. And if you want to find out more about this course, you can go to evetterose.com or metaphysicalanatomy.com, and then events, and then self-paced online courses. And until then, bye. So guys, there you have it. Also remember to subscribe to my channel, stay up to date. And also I have a free MAC membership website where we have so many courses up there. There's meditations, there's workshops, whatever you need, it's there. There's so many wonderful webinar replays as well that you can benefit from and also to observe and to learn from. Guys, also remember that I have written 18 books. 18, 1-8. And one of many among them are Metaphysical Anatomy and Psychosomatics for Children. So this one is a psychosomatics for adults. This one is a psychosomatics for kids. So these books are super popular. People love it. If you want to learn more about how your body works, understanding messages behind it, maybe you have that gnawing pain or maybe an ailment that's surfacing and you want to understand what is it that your body is trying to tell you. Guys, these books are going to be absolutely invaluable to you. You can find it at evettebooks.com, where you will also find all my other 18 books. And guys, also remember to keep asking all these great questions. I love to answer your questions at Ask Evette, where we discuss, life conundrums and, life challenges, and just answer questions perhaps where you feel, quite stuck in your life. I would love to share my perspective with this and to help you to resolve perhaps certain pain points that you might be having in your life as well. So guys, remember to stay in touch. There's so many great things that's happening. And also something really awesome is that this book is already also in video format. So imagine 679 medical elements in video format, with also with meditations and healing courses, workshops, masterclasses, everything behind that in our platinum membership site. So guys, remember to check that out. There is so many great things happening there. So see you there.